Hello and welcome to What's Map for Cities Skylines, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. There are thousands of items on the workshop now, so finding the right one for your next city build is a huge task. So each day, Monday to Saturday, we'll review some using our 5-star rating and the coveted seal of approval. So join me, fellow Skylines explorers, as we venture out to today's new land. Who am I? I'm BonBonB, and you are very, very welcome.
Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. BonBon here, how you doing? Hope you had a really good weekend. I had a very busy one trying to sort out computer glitches. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Of course, there's also a new tutorial up on the channel now, and that we can refer to during today's episode when we get to it. But yes, computer glitches. Those of you that were with me at the tail end of last week on Friday and Saturday's map will know that there were a little bit of a theme and resource issues, thus me saying that a particular map was all ore on 2 consecutive days. That was really strange. Well, I haven't quite got to the bottom of it, but I have fixed it. I don't know what the problem was. A Valley Somewhere, a map of the series of Handstand Stories by Io Arrivo da Tuttle de Party. That's the fella. Thank you. My Italian is as good as my German. That's what it looked like, and this is what it actually looks like with the actual resources. Now, what I figured this was being caused by was either a glitch with the software, so I basically fixed the software, but that made no difference. Then I went in and played about with the mods and eliminated all of them. But during the process of eliminating them, everything was working fine again. Now this was Saturday's map, and it was really a nice looking map. However, Kent then said, well, my map's not supposed to look like this. The theme isn't working properly. Well, I think I've got the theme working properly. So this is what it looked like on Saturday, and this is probably how it's supposed to look with the sediment layers in the rocks. This is the best I can get. I've twiddled and tweaked as much as I can. The resolution's a little bit low because we are talking about themes that have been textures that have been stretched out to make the sediment levels look like this. And from down here, they're bright and colourful and pretty shouty, I've got to say. I mean, it's a dramatic effect, and I applaud. If this is supposed to be how it looks, okay, I still don't know for sure because we still haven't got all of the images working on the workshop. But if this is how it's supposed to appear, do you know what? It's a valiant effort at doing something a bit different. To be honest with you, I still prefer how we had it looking on Saturday. But, oh, and this was the resources, which was all ore on Saturday, and that's how it's supposed to have looked. But yeah, I don't know, but I do know that I preferred the Saturday's look. That said, I don't know what caused the Saturday's look, so I can't give you advice on how to achieve that. So, it's a pretty crap start to today's show. But we can start moving forward from this point in with today's map, and before that, your daily reminder. That's right, hitting the like button does help support the channel, gets me seen by more people, and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. So apologies anyway to those 2 creators from last week. I hopefully have put things right this morning. Okay, today we have got Scranton by Deus Ex Machina. That is the loading screen thumbnail, obviously taken at night. Let's have a little look at the start square, shall we? Start square looks like that, all good. And then off to the resources, and the resources obviously are now fixed. That's what they look like. Not particularly brilliant for the Industries DLC, but very good for vanilla resources, so there we go. Off to the workshop. You don't need much, and Scranton does welcome you. It does feel welcoming, I've got to be honest, the map does feel welcoming. The leafy tree set, we are using the realistic V1.2.13 Boreal theme, and of course the realistic 1.2 LUT, because no LUT is prescribed. Okay, let's have a look at the roads. Finally, we've got on with today's review, 4 minutes in, but we did have to clear up some things from last week first. I think you can appreciate that it's only fair on last week's creators that I make sure that's done. Now, this crossover here, you can't get from one to the other, but you can, but it's a bit of a long route, okay? We're going to actually take that route. We're going to get there eventually. You may notice some glitching between the highways here. The height differential This is something we're going to see recurrently in today's episode, with a bit of blue mantle shining out through the bottom of the road there. Blue mantle, of course, is the subject of my new tutorial, and if you suffer from blue mantle, usually these things occur actually under bridges, then that's the tutorial for you. I will link that one in the top right hand corner right about now, hopefully, if I remember to do so. These things, I've got lots of things to do, you know. I'm a busy boy. I am. I got washing up and hoovering, and I got to do the folding up of the laundry as well. I haven't got to, but I should really, shouldn't I? Yeah, I can see all the ladies in the audience, both of you nodding approvingly. Okay, I mean, there's not really too much to say about these roads. If you're bored looking at the roads, hit the subscribe button, get that out of the way. It's something to do while we just... it's a really nice... Look at the aesthetics. It looks really nice, doesn't it? Come on, admit it. Yeah, the trees are a little bit monotonous, but they can be. There are parts of the world where you just get one pine after another pine after another pine or whatever. I actually like this look. I think the theme and the luck combo work really well. I like the trees. I just find it nice. Okay, I'm putting it there on the table. You can disagree all you like in the comments. You will not change my mind. We are now heading off towards the fog. Now, I did promise you we were going to head back to that other highway via this route. We are still going to do that, even though you're now looking going, but we are literally heading into the fog now, BonBon. No, we've got some more of this glitching between the highways, the height differential again. Oh dear. Yes, now heading to... Now, a few of you will say, could you switch the fog off now? There's not much to see here. The one thing to see will be quite clear. Okay, so I'm not going to bother just for the sake of this. Honestly, there's not too much out in the fog worth looking at. It's just the same as everything else on the map. But there you go. You can see we've got an intersection there, a trumpet intersection, which means we can now head back in towards the map. There we are. Right, and we've got some differential here as well. A more blue mantle glitching. Those two highways need to be at the same level as each other. Anyway, now we're heading back away from the fog. Yes, there's not too much in the fog that you're not seeing. It's the same. Okay, there's no castles hidden out there. There's no monuments. Yeah, there's not even a little essential lighthouse out there. But you wouldn't expect there to be, really, would there? Would you? Yeah, see, it's quite bad here. Quite bad here. It's a shame. It's a shame because that, if anything, is the one thing that's going to cause the loss of a seal of approval for this map. The amount of blue mantle glitching between the roads. A little bit more going on around there, and a little bit on the inside going on here as well. Yeah, more of the same. It's just too much that needs to be fixed before you can actually start playing and enjoying, if you want that perfect environment. This intersection is quite nice. So we could grumble about these two. The arrows on the right there, they could be pointing straight on. Easily fixed. I'm not going to do it in today's episode. You guys have seen me do it countless times, and I'm sure I will do it again in the future. But today we've had lots of other things to look at and deal with first, that I'm not going to spend any more time doing that. It's not a bad... It looks hand-drawn to me, this intersection. It's not a bad one. That heads off into the fog. We've seen the fog already, haven't we? Shall we head the other route? Now we're heading closer to some more height differentials going on here. No mantle, but it's a bit close. Yeah, we're now heading down towards the start square location, and it's got a nice vibe to it, this map. A really nice vibe, despite its little flaws. As bridges go, could have been tidier, but it's still not bad. It's not... can't really fault it that much. Off this way, and we've got an intersection here, and this intersection is indeed the start square intersection. Let's go down and have a little look where we can start building when we start making our city on this location. And it's not bad. It's not very flat, so it's not an absolute beginner map, but it's not horrific. There's plenty of space in here that you can get into. Lots of room to expand into. We've got the rivers going through it as well. That's all cool. And do you know what else? There might even be an asset down there if we go back down and have a look. Oh yeah, there's one or two. In fact, There's quite a few. It's a Japanese low residential house pack, and there's a lot in the pack. There's a hell of a lot in the pack. So many in the pack. In fact, we're going to see a lot of them. We're going to fly by a lot of them here. And I think there's about 16 or 18 that I haven't plopped down. So that gives you an idea of just how many are in the pack. But Takachi 269 has surpassed themselves with this one. And factoids, because factoids, we know you love them. When an alligator bellows, the noise can be heard a mile away. But what happens if a tree falls at the same time? Now there is the thought for the day. The word million. I'll get two factoids in. We've got the time today. There's so many of these to look at. The word million was first used in 1370. That would have seemed a huge number at the time. Of course now it's just pocket money, isn't it? To some people. But anyway, yes, loads and loads and loads of low-res, Japanese low residential house pack by Takachi 269. Loads and loads and loads and loads of them. Okay, let's go. Back onto the highways. We've seen that now. There's plenty of them. It's a nice pack, that one. Very nice pack. Where were we? Ah, yes, highways. Yep, no problem with this. Nice elevated sections across little gorges like that. There's a lot to be said for it. There is a lot to be said for it. The standards are pretty reasonable. Just a few oversights, I think. Most of those are off towards the fog and out the 25 tiles, so you could argue that we shouldn't really be picking on them, but we are. Well, what do you expect? It's Monday. Nice little bridge there. No glitching at all. Very sweet indeed. And you know what else is very sweet indeed? Ah, the intermission. We're not there yet, but I've got a brand new one for today. You'll not have seen this one before. You may have seen the link. You may have gone and watched the video, but you haven't seen the intermission. So if you'd like to prepare yourselves for... Oh, look, a bit of an uneven bridge here. That's a bit poor. Anyway, if you'd like to prepare yourselves for a few moments with Zach, I'm going to go and fold some clothes. See you in a moment.
Are you confused by all those buttons running along the top and bottom of the screen? And what was that icon for again? Does anyone know? Then you need BonBonB's Beginner's Guide to the User Interface. Click the information button now.
And I've now got undercrackers everywhere. Oh, I don't know. Rail. The rail's not bad. Okay, the rail's not bad. It's not perfect. If you're looking for the ultimate realistic, it's not ultimately realistic. But actually, there's no areas where you look at it and you go, ah, that's too steep. We've got a bit uppy downy and a bit, you know, some minor climbs here and there. But within the context of the game, I think we can let them be, you know. It is a city builder game, you know, not an accurate rail simulator. Where should we go? Left. We can go left. Nice little rail bridge over there. And we'll scoot through the forests. Through the ample forests. Ample forests, one must say. Through here. Across here. A little bit of elevation there. See what I mean? Just some minor areas of elevation. But it's alright, you know. Nobody's going to come down like a... It might make the difference of a star if it was close. If it was close call, it might make the difference of 1 star. But it's not a close call with this map. It's not affecting my overall scoring at all. Okay, let's have a look at... If we hadn't turned left there, if we'd gone right, I want to take the rail route through the start square, because the start square's got, or in that particular area, something just a little bit different than just straightforward rail routes. Where are we? Here we go. There you go. Yeah, sidings and stuff. All good. And then we merge back in with the rail routes. And head off. Hang on. Now, where did it go? I thought it was going that way. Ah, lost the rail. Oops. I went off the rails there, guys. Never mind. Yep, through here. And along the side of the river this way. Off towards the edge of the map and the fog, which means we'll have a look at the shipping routes. It won't take long because there are no shipping routes. Those rivers are a little bit on the narrow side. Unfortunately, Deus Ex Machina knows this as well, and so has just given us a couple of air routes to play with. One heads up this way, and then one that runs sort of parallel with it this way. So there we are, air routes to Scranton. All aboard to Scranton. Let's have a look at the water flow. Now the water flow is okay. My query is there enough in these little narrow river type things? I mean, they're realistic looking, give you that. Is there enough water flow? I don't know. Short of actually building a city, I couldn't tell you. But if you're going to be using water pumping, I'm a little bit concerned that these might just be not quite enough. Like the way that these two rivers merge in together and we haven't got any flooding or anything going on there. Good water control there, got to say that. Amount of times we'll see that and we get issues with globby water afterwards. This is all good. So anyway, yes, just a slight concern on the water flow. Overall, map looks pretty good. We've got hills around the outside, just gives a little bit of background, and very much can build into them if you want to do that. I don't see any reason why you shouldn't want to. Centre of the map is flat, but it's not flat. It causes just enough for you to consider where you're building and maybe do a little bit of terrain editing as well as you go. Off into the hills we go over this way with the river as well. Lots of trees off this way. Aesthetically, I'm a fan of this, you know. It's understated. Got a little bit of a lake going on there. Yep, quite happy with that. No problem with that. And then heading on through. It's got a nice cozy feel to this map. It really has. Head back towards the centre because that's where all the interesting stuff build-wise is going. I got a little bit of blue mantle. Yeah, okay, yes, blue mantle effect. I know someone who should watch my tutorial. Deus Ex Machina, click the link to the tutorial now, please, my friend. You'll never do that again. Water flow, here we go. Oh, it looks really nice aesthetically. I find this quite pleasing. I find it quite pleasing indeed. And then, yeah, rivers. Got a few trees paddling. No big problem with these. I don't really buy into them, but they don't turn me off either. Okay, your chance to vote on the map. Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the viewer's choice at a top 10 for the month. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. I think it's aesthetically very, very nice. Okay, it's not a killer, but it's very nice. Right, I found the thumbnail location. Let's get on and mark this thing. Aesthetically, I've said it a few times now, I like it. Okay, it's not mind-blowingly stunning, but I like it, and I'm prepared to give it a 4th star for that. It looks realistic to me, and that's always a big winner. Detailing across the whole, there's not really too much to say. It's not too bad, but then we've got blue mantle everywhere. And so the not too bad was going to get it a 4th star, but the amount of blue mantle, it can't. It's down to 3. Gameplay potential, I think there's a lot of potential to be had here, but I've got a little bit of concern about the traffic flow with it looping round on that one loop, and obviously quite a lot of blue mantle to fix before you can get cracking on. I'm going to give it 3 stars. It's a high 3, bordering a 4. Scranton by Deus Ex Machina. Yes, I like it. I like it a lot. Borderline 4 stars all round, with a little bit less in the blue mantle and just a slightly better highway network. That was a seal of approval map. So anyway, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking and subscribing. There's another map on screen now from just over a year ago. It's got a vote placed on it. If you want to go and vote on that, you might be one of the first. And what can I tell you? Oh yes, tomorrow. It's the City Edition, is our 4th visit to Strict Toasters build. See you then.